So what do you make of how they're going to be viewed stateside now?
Well, Dan, this is a case of last year's Tinseltown darlings are today's Hollywood flops. The last years of the beloved queen should have been filled with nothing but warmth and gratitude, and the king's new reign should be filled with anticipation and hope. Some of us will never forgive the Sussexes for instead making two reigns tense and turbulence. But for all its glitter, Hollywood is a business that cares only about the bottom line. What have you done for me lately? And Harry and Meghan have come up short. They've come up short on production of content, good perception of value. They don't seem to provide the necessary ROI to be good investments.
Adobo.
I swear. Ugh. I swear. Oh, I swear I'm a proper little gossip bitch, me. Okay, put your self-loathing to one side, Danny. Get on with the video. What I meant to say was, I think some of these experts that come on these programs on GB News and shit, right, and don't know what the hell they're talking about, they really, sincerely bother me, I swear. Just look at this big oaf they had on earlier who was reading off a script as he spoke to Dan Wooten. Pathetic!
Hope. Some of us will never forgive the Sussexes for instead making two reigns tense and turbulence. But for all its glitter, Hollywood is a business that cares only about the bottom line. What have you done for me lately? And
some of these experts that they get on these programs, you know, they're little more than bandwagon buffoons, not like me. I have a genuine academic interest in Harry and Meghan. I think they should be studied meticulously. You got people like this guy talking about ROI, return on investment. Ooh, shut up. Spotify and Netflix are just stupid. They didn't know how to market the absolute gold they had on their hands. Penguin Random House did it beautifully. Look at the book Harry produced. Let's have a look at the book Harry produced. Okay, so the part I'm going to be looking at today is chapter 18 from the third part of this enormous, very, very long book by Harry called Spare, right? The Gospel According to Harold. We're going to be looking at chapter 18 from the third part, and it ties in really well with this debate, with this academic debate that is dividing the nation. Nay, the world. It ties in very nicely because what you will see in this very short chapter is Harry and Meghan. They don't really have many aspirations other than the same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world, right? That's it. They just want to be recognised. That's all they want. They want to be A-listers, and that's it. They don't need to hurt anyone in the process. They don't care. They'll do anything. So my point is that everyone's talking about, Netflix and Spotify not getting a good ROI, return on investment. Shut up, right? No, they are idiots. They didn't know how to market this. Because if I'm Netflix, I'm saying to Harry and Meghan, I'm saying, okay, you want $100 million? You want $100 million? Okay. I'm installing HD cameras in every corner of every room of your massive mansion in Montecito, right? And we're going to produce a Kardashian-style reality TV show. There will be 10 seasons with 15 episodes per season. You are bound to this contract or you're not seeing a penny of the 100 million, right? They do it. They do it because that would lead to, people would hate watch it, it would be amazing. If I'm Spotify and I'm offering 30 million or whatever they offered, I'd say to Meghan, okay, you want to be the female Joe Rogan? Well, be the female Joe Rogan. You do 5 episodes a week minimum, and they have to be at least 2.5 hours long each episode, right? Unscripted and unedited, not this highly produced crap where you do 12 episodes, whatever. I don't even know what that was, Archetypes, right? It was shit, I can tell you that much. Anyway, as you will see in this chapter, which we're getting into, all they want is to be recognised and exposed. Okay, even though they say the complete opposite, that's exactly what they want. It's obvious. It's really, I can tell, and you'll be able to. Let's get into it.
Chapter 18. I flew to Toronto. End of October 2016. Meg was excited to show me her life, her dogs, her little house, which she adored. And I was eager to see it all, to know every last detail about her. Though I'd snuck into Canada once before, briefly, this would be my first proper visit. We walked the dogs in big open ravines and parks. We explored the sparsely populated nooks and crannies of her neighbourhood. Toronto wasn't London, but it also wasn't Botswana.
Toronto was not as busy as London, but the local populations of impala and pygmy geese had been ravaged by climate change.
So, be ever cautious, we said. Maintain the bubble. Keep wearing disguises.
So this was a theme throughout the early days of their romance, according to the novel, and it is a novel. They kept wearing disguises in public. They kept going out in public together. They were in Waitrose at one point, and they're wearing disguises, and nobody noticed, and nobody cared. That was the takeaway I got from it. Nobody really cared, and also, I don't know, go to Waitrose at different times or something. It doesn't really. I don't know, it just seems like they were just waiting for the press to notice them, and you'll see they were quite frustrated when they didn't.
Speaking of disguises, we invited Hughes and Jack to join us for Halloween. And Meg's best friend Marcus. Toronto's Soho House was having a big party, and the theme was apocalypse. Dress accordingly.
I suggested everyone dress up as Nazis. But Cousin Hughes didn't think that would be a great idea. Remember what happened last time? She said, "You fucking idiot." Fair enough, I thought.
I mumbled to Meg that I'd not had great luck with themed fancy dress parties, but I'd give it another go.
I began to rummage frantically through my luggage, desperately searching for some blackface paint. Shit, I thought. I left it at home.
To help with my costume, I turned to a friend.
Justin Trudeau.
I turned to a friend, the actor Tom Hardy.
Ooh, name-dropping Harold. My friend, actor Tom Hardy.
You're a posh spaz.
Oh. He's not your friend.
I'd phoned him to ask if I could borrow his costume from Mad Max. The whole thing? Yes, please, mate. The whole kit.
The whole thing? Yeah, it sounds like he seems a bit put out by that request, Harry. Very relatable, by the way. Hollywood actors acquiescing to your capricious whims. You're the sort of guy that I would like to lecture me on climate change and unconscious bias. Oh, and don't come at me with your ad hominem. Get to fuck with your ad hominem. I'm having, whole arguments up here in my head with Harry. It's getting late.
He'd given it all to me before I left Britain, and now I tried it on in Meg's little bathroom. When I came out, she roared with laughter.
Well, you all know what laughter sounds like.
It was funny and a little scary, but the main thing was, I was unrecognizable. Meg, meanwhile, wore torn black shorts, a camo top, fishnet stockings. If that's the apocalypse, I thought, bring on the end of the world.
Bring on the end of the world. That's actually quite a funny coincidence, because I imagine quite a lot of people feel that way in the presence of Meghan Markle. Not least of all her podcast guests, if there ever were any.
The party was loud.
Correction, the party was loud, you twat.
The party was loud, dark, drunk, ideal.
The party was loud, dark, drunk, ideal. Ideal for what, Jimmy Savile?
Several people did double takes as Meg passed through the rooms, but no one looked twice at her dystopian dates.
Dystopian dates, yeah, that he is. But I've got to say, this sounds like it was a private gathering. There couldn't have been many people. Were there many people at this party? There's a few close friends there. Who was he hiding from? Who didn't know he was Prince Harry at that party? Also, he's not really well disguised, is he? Because Tom Hardy, from what I've seen in the film in Mad Max, I mean, he sometimes wears like a grate over his face or something, but that wouldn't stop people knowing it's Prince Harry.
I wished I could wear this disguise every day. I wished I could reuse it the next day and visit her on a set of suits.
As a famous person trying not to be seen, what are you looking for in a disguise? I would say inconspicuous. You don't want people to notice you. And the disguise, of course, must hide your face. This really, it doesn't fit the bill, does it? Really couldn't just be hanging out on the set of Suits dressed like that. It would do you no good.
Then again, maybe not. I'd made the mistake of Googling and watching some of her love scenes online. I'd witnessed her and a castmate mauling each other in some sort of office or conference room.
So long as it wasn't this office, I think you'll be fine, Harry.
It would take electric shock therapy to get those images out of my head.
No! Don't touch her! What the hell? Who's this guy? I hadn't even noticed him.
I didn't need to see such things live. Still, the point was moot. The next day was Sunday, so she wasn't working.
Oh, there went that plan then, to follow your new girlfriend to work in a Halloween costume, Shit, it was Sunday.
And then everything was rendered moot. Everything was changed forever. Because the next day was when the news of our relationship broke wide open.
A spokesman said, "This is the one thing we didn't want to happen."
Well, we said, staring anxiously at our phones. It was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, it was going to happen eventually, dressing up as film characters and going to parties together and then dressing up in wigs and sunglasses and beanies and going into Waitrose at the same time as one another. It was just, you can't fight that kind of natural law. They were going to discover you at some point.
In fact, we'd had a heads up that it was likely to happen that day. We'd been tipped before heading off to the Halloween apocalypse.
Oh dear God, Meghan, they've discovered us. Now where's my Mad Max outfit? Let's paint the town red.
That another apocalypse might be coming. More proof that the universe had a wicked sense of humour. Meg, you ready for what's headed our way? Kinda, are you? Yes? We were sitting on her sofa, moments before I left for the airport. Are you scared? Yes? No? Maybe? We're going to be hunted. No two ways about it. I'll just treat it as if we're in the bush.
Yes, of course, but how the tables had turned, yeah. Just weeks before this, they'd been in the Botswana and Serengeti, where they really were top of the food chain. They were the apex predator. They were flushing lions out of the bushes by driving their jeep at them, as Harry sort of laughed and said, "Thanks for making such a racket last night, boys." Oh, and the giraffes nodded to them. They saluted them. We remember that. That was great, wasn't it? Do you remember that video? That video was really good, wasn't it? Almost as good as this one.
She reminded me of what I'd said in Botswana when the lions were roaring. Trust me, I'll keep you safe.
Can you imagine? I can't imagine anything more sickly. All right. Harry and Meghan sleeping in their fake mud hut in the Serengeti in Botswana. It's not really a mud hut. It looks like one, but the walls have got reinforced steel, titanium in them, and of course it's they've got their armed guards with massive rifles standing outside, and a lion sort of goes in the middle of the night, like we hear cats here in Europe. And she will have gone, oh, I'm scared, or something like that, right? And Harry with his big dopey arms, and will have gone, "Don't worry, I'll protect you." Will you though? I'd like to see you protect her if there weren't any titanium walls or armed guards. Samson? No, who's the person who killed the lion? Was it Samson? It may as well have been. He was pretty tough. Daniel was in the lions. I don't think he killed them though, did he? They didn't kill him because he loved God or something. So that's the moral of that story. Love God.
She believed me then, she said. She believed me now. By the time I touched down at Heathrow, the story had fizzled.
Wow, it's almost as though nobody gave a shit.
It was all unconfirmed, and there were no photos, there was nothing to fuel it. A moment's reprieve? Maybe, I thought, all will be well. Nah. Calm before the shitstorm.
Yep, the calm before the shitstorm. And what a shitstorm. Here we are 7 years later, covered in shit, all of us, aren't we? That is better than any segment you'll see on GB News. Fuck their expert panel. Alright? Yeah. I'm sorry for all the swearing, but I'm not sorry because I don't apologise, alright? I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bring on the end of the world.